Mr. School Counselor, welcoming everybody back, into my new viewers and subscribers. Welcome. This show is for you. Now, as you can see, the scenery has changed. We're back where it all started, my mama's place. So last week you were able to see a picture of me. That was me in high school, and we're going to bring it back now, and I'm going to share some of the... Actually, I'll say this. I'm going to reflect on what my mom had to say last week, because sometimes it's important to hear from others, from adults, their experiences, their trials, their struggles, their tribulations, but you're going to hear it also from my mouth. So I'm going to give you a little personal piece. I'm going to let you get a little more in depth on what my experience was like, my experience with my mom, my experience with my counselor. And if you can take anything of it, that would be amazing. There were a lot of struggles as a high school student. If you feel like you're going down this same road, it might be the best time just to hear this and think, what could I do differently? Because if there's something I could do differently, then you may want to do it. So sit back, and before we even get into it, you already know what I'm going to tell you. Make sure you're liking, you're commenting, you're doing some feedback, but most importantly, let's make sure we're just watching, and if there's any valuable information, please care to share, because it may be something that another student, another parent may want to know about, and they may not even know about the Mr. School Counselor. So, with that being said, sit back, enjoy, and welcome to the Mr. School Counselor Show. All right, everyone, welcome. So before we even begin, if you hear any barking going on, those are actually my two little dogs, Neptune and Mika. Right now they're playing guard dogs, looking outside the window, waiting for somebody to come home. We're gonna get right into it. Last week, and if you didn't get a chance to take a look at the videos, I was able to post some tips for parents. So I had brought in my mom. My mom was involved. She had no idea that I was actually recording her. I ended up telling her afterwards, and I think I got in trouble by her. But I did let her know what the importance of it was for, and then she did say, okay. Mom, if I had to ask you for how my college process was with you, what do you think? How do you think it was like?
Well, it wasn't that good because I went to see the teacher, the counselor. He had a couple of schools that he said that for you to go to, and then I don't know what happened. You didn't get accepted. I don't remember what schools you even got accepted to. You even tried, and you ended up in Bergen Community.
We're gonna dive right into it. So she said it wasn't that good. She went to see the counselors, and they had a list of schools for me. And the reality is, yes, they did have a list of schools for me, but I only applied to 2 schools. And I applied last minute. I'm talking about, I applied, if I'm not mistaken, I applied probably in like February. So I got rejected, and you heard her say it. You know, I went to our community college. And let me share with you, my mother had shared that, yes, I did go to Bergen Community College. The reason she was so upset about it is because my mom did graduate from a school. She's a Dane, so she went to Albany, and she knew the process of her going into college, and she wanted me to have that same experience. However, I was a big procrastinator. So I waited till last minute. I said, hey, no worries, I'll get into college one way or another. So I decided to go to my community college, and here I am now. So the importance is, if you are going to wait till last minute, have that backup plan. See, I had a backup plan, but I really didn't have a backup plan because I knew what I was going to college, but I didn't know what I was going to college for. And that's another thing that's important. That's why I shared, make sure that you start getting to know what you want to hone in on. When you get to college, there's a possibility you're going to change your major. And if you ask around, people do change their majors. It is actually quite common. But we want to avoid that if we can, because we want to try to make sure we get to college with spending the least amount of money as possible. So if you could have done it all over, what do you think you could have done differently?
I would have had more appointments with the counselor. I would have talked more to you. I would have gone to see more schools like I did with Jennifer. I would have gone to see the schools on tour.
Her next response, what she would have done differently. You see, my mom had shared, yes, you heard it, visiting schools, doing campus tours. Those were opportunities that were there for me as well back then, and I wanted no part of it. I really didn't. Why? Because I was so caught up in being a senior. I was so caught up in, college it's not until September. We're in March, we're in February. That's so far ahead, and the reality is, it really isn't. It's only like 6 months away. So get yourselves on a campus. Put your butt in a car, put your butt on an Uber, put your butt on a bus, and just go. Just go. Whether it's with some friends one day, whether it's with your parents, just go on a college campus because it's important. Now, as for parents, that piece is going to be important as well. I mean, you heard it from my mom. It just helps to know a little bit more. It just helps to know that, yes, college isn't somewhere where my kids are going to go. I have no idea where they're going. I have no idea what a college campus looks like. Take a look at it because it could be important. It could be a conversation starter. It can be just a simple, what did you think about that college? What did you think about that campus? Something like that can get the ball rolling where now you and your child are on the same page. So that's something that when my mom spoke about it, I'm not gonna lie, it really hit hard, and I got sentimental about it because I remember my mom pushing, and my mom did push a lot, and unfortunately I was real hesitant. I'm thankful that even to this day she still pushes me to be the best I can be, but back then I thought I had it all covered, and I didn't. It's important for parents to visit.
Yes, I think it's important for them to be there, to go to talk to the counselor, to go visit the schools, to go see them.
And last, probably the most important, she shared visiting the counselors. Let me tell you something, and school counselors, guidance counselors, they would appreciate this. They'll appreciate, as a parent, reaching out to them. Because, again, who knows their child more than them? No one does. The parent is always the best connect for their children. You guys are with them 24 hours, 7 days a week. I know they're in school, I know they work, but let's keep it real. You are on alert with them 24/7. So, reach out to these counselors. If you have time, stop by, make a visit, make an appointment. If you don't, because look, we live in a country now where one job is not the norm anymore. Some people hustle, some people grind, some people have 2 jobs, some people even sometimes have 3 jobs. But it's because we have to put food on our children's plates. This is the reason why you want them to succeed in high school, so that they don't have to work 3 jobs, so that they don't have to work 2 jobs. But see, that's the beauty of social media. That's the beauty of technology. That's the beauty of reaching out to these schools. Hey, if you can't reach them, if you can't get to them physically, reach out to them. See what they can do. See if they can put you in a conference call. See whatever your options are so that you can make sure you're also on the same page. Because I love that school counselors and guidance counselors, we're doing everything we can to help our students. But mom, dad, step-pops, step-moms, aunts, uncles, those raising our kids, we need your help as well. School counselors can't do it alone. Shoot, I can't do it alone. Shoot, you can't sometimes even do it alone. But you know what? You do the best you can to do it alone, and that's amazing. So we do the best we can as well. But imagine if we were to unify. It'd be great because we'd be all on the same page. And remember, we have to do this in order for our students to succeed. All right, everyone. So like I shared, I was going to be responding to my mom's responses. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was light. I'll leave you with this though. If I could do it again, I would. And I'm sure most of us say the same thing. The piece though that I wish I could do again was visiting college campuses. Because I know how I am. I am a sucker for our environment. And if I would have stepped on a college campus, I would have known now is my time to start applying. And if I would have done that probably as a junior, my best bet would have been if I back then would have done it, I would have done it as a junior. The reason I'm saying now though is kids as sophomores should start creating college lists. Let's call it what it is. The competition is real. Back then, and I'm talking back then because I always hear my mom talking about it, with a high school diploma you could do so much. Then when I was around high school, with a bachelor's degree you could do so much. Unfortunately, that's not the case though anymore. There are some people out there with bachelor's degrees doing entry-level positions. And you know what? They have to do what they have to do. The job market is nothing to be played with. So, if you're doing something that you love and you can keep going and you're making money, that's awesome. If you're not, it's okay. You gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep hustling. Remember, they see you as everything. You have every answer. Mom and dad, it could be a social studies problem. And guess what? They may be doing that homework and you have to know that answer. Because if you don't know anything. You believe it? You may have not been in high school for the last 15, 20 years. But if you don't know something about Benjamin Franklin or Paul Revere, they look at you like, oh my goodness, my parents don't know anything. So let's change that. Let's visit these schools. Let's reach out to our counselors. Let's make appointments. Let's stop by. I don't want you to be the quiet parent that lets everything get done by the school. No, be involved. Schools want you to be involved. I'm glad you stopped by. Comment, feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. With that being said though, thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you next week.